So I always like to show you different ways to modify and adapt the things that you make in these tutorials. And one of the things that I use on a daily basis, because I'm a real candle lover, and I like to just light my candles in the evening and make everything really cozy. And I use these extra long matchboxes, but they're very boring and plain. And I thought it would be a wonderful idea to jazz them up a little bit with our butterflies. So I'm going to show you one that I have made here, and we're going to make a smaller version of the butterfly and decorate a matchbox. So we've got this this side here where we can strike the matches, and you can still easily open the box, but it's just really beautiful. So this size of matchbox is actually perfect. If you're in the UK, they're called Bryant and May extra long matches. I just find them it's a really nice shaped box. I'll tell you what the measurement is. It's 11 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters, and then the depth of the box is 2 centimeters, or about 18 millimeters. And I've got these fantastic papers, really nice papers. They're called the paper blocks. And I've got another one, I'm Lost in Nature, is another kind of beautiful different papers. You can use wallpaper, because we know how much we love using wallpaper for some of these tutorials. But these I found, because they measure, so a perfect square, they measure 15 by 15. They're just the perfect size for the Bryant and May matchbox. So what we're going to do is, before we start covering the matchbox, of course you're going to want to paint a butterfly in a smaller size to the big painting that we did earlier. We're using all the same techniques, but this time you're just going to do it on a smaller piece of watercolour paper. I have a small pad, a ring bound watercolour pad that I use for these small butterflies. And so, you know, draw it out obviously in a smaller scale. Let me just show you the size of my particular butterfly. So from the base of the wing to the tip of the wing is 8 centimeters, and then across the broadest part of the wings is 9 centimeters by 8 centimeters at the bottom part. Okay. Now with this, because you're going to have more of a three-dimensional effect to the butterfly, you don't get away lightly. Of course, it's a smaller painting, but you're going to have to do both sides of your butterfly. But you don't have to worry too much about the base of it being perfect, the body on the underneath. And with the wings, I haven't gone into as much elaborate detail as I did on the front of it, because they're going to be tipped up. We're just going to see basically the colour. So you want to make sure that the veins are standing out and they're painted nicely. But all of the elaborate detail that you put on the top is not going to be as fancy as the underneath, because we're just going to see a glimpse of the underneath. Now, when you cut out your butterflies, you're going to cut exactly to the edge of where you've painted, and then you're just going to fold it in a little bit. So you could score it with a pair of scissors or a paper folder, so that the body is flat, but that the wings are coming upwards like that. And then you can also just bend the wings. So this paper is really malleable. So to just give them that kind of three-dimensional element. You can also add some bling. So I've got these sticky crystals that I just bought in the range, and I've got different coloured ones. So I'll use this to decorate the box and to decorate the wings. So it just gives it a little glisten when it catches the light. It can look as though, I don't know, it's been raining or there's little dewdrops on its wings. But you can decorate your butterfly however you wish. So we're going to do our box now, and I'm going to choose a paper for this. Let's have a look. Now, there's some really nice papers in this, and they're not very expensive at all. I think this was like £2 or £3 for all of these lovely papers. I think I've seen one. That one looks like almost like stars in the sky, even though it's pink. So we're just going to tear that out. And you do get a couple of each, I think. Oh, you don't in this one. Oh well. Now that one's a really pretty one, and I also like the Love Hearts one, but we're going for this because it's the one that caught my eye first of all. So I'm going to tear that out. And then you're going to pop your matchbox onto, I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit. There we go. Pop your matchbox into the corner of the paper like that. Gonna grab a pencil to make sure that we're evenly placed right up to the edges. I'm just going to draw around like that, around that edge. And then I'm going to take my line all the way to the edge of the paper. So we're going to cut off that piece of paper there. So let's do that. Get a really nice clean edge. And then we're just going to fold that over. Now you will find that the paper is just going over slightly. So you can stick your paper to the edge of your matchbox like that and then just trim that off when you've finished. Or you can do it now, it's up to you. I'm just going to trim it ever so slightly. Just going to take a whisker off the end of there. Make sure I do it straight for you. A little bit wonky, but never mind. So the next thing that we're going to do is apply some double-sided tape. Apply it to the matchbox. It's a lot easier if you do that. So we're going to pop that as close to the edge as we can there. And then I'm just going to tear that off. I'm going to go all the way along the matchbox, just sticking my double-sided tape. I'm just going to stick a little bit on the edge there as well. So obviously you are leaving the edge that has got your part where you're striking your matches. You don't want to have any double-sided tape on there. So we're going to do it on the edge of the matchbox again. And then just tear that away. I think I'll zoom you back out again. It might be easier for you to see. So we're going, whoops, let's tear a little bit of that off because it's got all sticky on me. Along the edge there like this. Now with this matchbox, you don't have to keep matches in it. You could take your matches out and, you know, give it as a gift and put something really nice in there. So you could put one of your beautiful little love hearts that you made, you know, with the air drying clay in my other tutorial, the air drying clay tutorial. That might be a really nice little container for those as a little gift. A nice little surprise when you slide open the matchbox. This cute little face appears. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've only ordered this tutorial, I have air drying clay hearts that are very cute and a really nice tutorial for you. So check that one out if you haven't already got it. If you're not on my creative journey, my 6-month creative journey. And so I'm going to take those first pieces of the double-sided tape off, and I'm going to just turn it this way, pop my paper on the edge, line it up really carefully, stick that down, and then stick the edge of the matchbox down there, and then we can remove these. Oops. Remove these little sticky, the backs of the double-sided tape. I've got tape stuck all over my hands. This happens when you're doing this. And we're going to push that down, take it to the edge. You can see it's still sticking out over the edge, so you can just trim that down there. All right, isn't that pretty? It's absolutely beautiful. And the other thing that you might want to do is to decorate it with some washi tape. So I've got some, these ones are like half the size of normal washi tape. So they've got some really lovely designs. This one's all sparkly. This one is my favorite. There's running out of this one, unfortunately. I've got a beautiful silver, which I really like this. I've got one with leaves on. I've got one with like, this is like a celestial one with the, like the night sky and stars on it. So you can use whatever washi tape you fancy. Let's see what else I have in here. I have a little bowl of washi tapes that are really pretty. Now I've got this silver sparkly one, which I think is going to be ideal for this little box. So let me finding the end of this is the hardest part of this process. Now, what you usually find is the end of the washi tape is usually not as sticky. So I'm going to go in and leave a part of it because I'm touching it with my fingers. And then I can trim that off at the end. So I'm just going to pop that down. I'm probably going to be covered in glitter now. And this glittery tape. And trim those edges there. Trim it off there. This is going to look wonderful. Right. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm just going to leave a little bit because I've been handling it and it makes it less sticky. You can as well, if your washi tape's not as sticky, because washi tape's intended to be almost like temporary, you know, the stickiness of it doesn't tend to be as sticky as normal tape, is you can glue it down or use double-sided tape underneath it if you feel as though it's going to come away. You could just pop a little bit of double-sided tape underneath there and might make it more secure for you. So there we have our beautiful, oh, love that, it's very, very shiny. So I've got my butterfly and I've already put some double-sided tape underneath the belly, underneath the butterfly. And I'm going to position it right in the centre of the box at a jaunty angle because I think it'd be nice as though it's just about to take off or it's just landed. Press it down really hard. And then you can get your little blingy dots. I have actually got some crystal-y ones that look more like diamonds. So I'm going to use those on this particular one. But let's bring back its friend, its original friend here. I did a blue butterfly and I've got blue sparkly crystals on it. And then what I did here was I just added the little antennae in crystals, which I think looks so lovely. And when I come to light my candles now, I just feel so fancy. If I don't have a butterfly on my matchbox, I don't want to light it, you know, I don't want to light a match. This is another variation of it as well here. And in this case, I put the little antennae down first. Before I added the butterfly, but that's a really nice little pattern that I've got there, and I could use the same butterfly because it's got the same kind of colorways on that one. But there you have it, beautiful, beautiful matchbox butterflies that you can use as gift boxes, that you can use as matchboxes and be very fancy when you're lighting your candles or your fire. And another way to use these beautiful butterflies. And one last thing that I've made that I wanted to show you is I did an even smaller butterfly. I haven't blinged it up yet, but I created a bookmark here. So I just basically added a couple of pieces of paper to the base of the butterfly that went down onto a piece of card. I stuck them onto a piece of card and then I just wrapped it in some wallpaper, added some washi tape at the bottom. And then when I place that inside a book, I have a book here. So let's move pop that in there. And he just flutters out of the top of the book, and it just looks so lovely. It's just a really nice way to use your butterflies. I'd love to see what you do with all of your butterfly designs, and do share them in the group, or send me an email, send me a picture, and most of all, have a lot of fun making your butterflies.